Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Further Beyond Gaming. My name is Cody GT and welcome back to another Genshin Impact video. And in today's video I wanted to go ahead and talk about the girl Xinyan, the 4-star character that's coming alongside Big Daddy Zhongli on or around December 1st. Now the reason I wanted to do this video is because I haven't seen too much talk around this character. I don't know if it's because she's another Claymore user so she's not that interesting, or that she's a 4-star so you're kind of like putting her to the wayside and she's coming along Big Daddy Zhongli and that's, you know, the main attraction. I'm not too sure what it is, but to be quite honest, I'm really excited for this character and I wanted to talk about some builds that you can put around, or on her I should say, to, you know, make her the best that she can obviously be. Let me know in the comments down below if you're excited about this character, or if you know, even forgot that she's coming alongside Zhongli on or around December 1st. But we'll talk about, you know, the best Claymores for her and the best artifacts. So I do hope you enjoy the video today and hopefully it's a bit informative. So it's going to be similar to what we did in the last video for Zhongli, except we'll be talking about artifacts as well. So let's go ahead and jump straight into it. We'll start with the Claymores. Of course, we're going to be talking about the 5-stars and the 4-stars like we did with the Zhongli video for the polearms. And we'll just kind of look at the stats, look at the skills, and see which are going to probably be the most applicable based off of Xinyan's skills and what she's bringing to the table with the limited information that we know, right, about her elemental skill and burst, things of that nature. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Skyward Pride first. It is a 5-star. This one is, I believe, Gacha only. It has an energy recharge as the second stat, and it has it at 8%. The skill, well, first and foremost, massive shout out to the wiki fandom, I'm sorry, for the information. Once again, thank you so much for making this information easily accessible. I will leave a link to the wiki fandom in the description down below if you want to take a look at this information for yourself. So massive shout out. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into the rank 1 skill for the Skyward Pride. Increases all damage by 8% after using an elemental burst. Normal or charge attack on hit creates a vacuum blade that does 80% of attack, as damage to enemies along its path, lasts for 20 seconds, or 8 vacuum blades. So this one is actually a really good weapon, to be quite honest with you. Really good 5-star Claymore. It does a lot, has good utility, and the energy recharge I think is always a good thing because that allows you to obviously spam ult, which I always think is a good thing as well. So it's going to be an interesting one for Xinyan, and if you don't know, just for the elemental burst, it deals physical damage, and this is Xinyan's elemental burst. Deals physical damage and knocks back all nearby enemies, and then periodically deals pyro damage to all surrounding enemies. So, you know, I think it's going to be a good elemental burst. I don't know if it's going to be, you know, super broken OP like I think Zhongli's is going to be. So I don't know if a spam ult is what you're going to want to build around her, but that's something that could be taken into consideration. Plus, you're doing more damage of attack as well. It lasts for a good amount of time, so not bad right there. I think that is a good weapon, obviously, with it being a 5-star. Now, the Wolf's Gravestone, this is actually what I have currently on my account as the 5-star Claymore, and I think this is going to be, obviously, an extremely good Claymore. I think you can put this Claymore on any Claymore user, and they're just obviously going to be that much better, right? And the reason being is, well, first of all, it has 46 for the base attack, and then the attack as a substat at 10.8%, and it increases base attack by 20% just on hit, which is going to happen. Attacks against enemies with less than 30% HP, increases all party members' base attack by 40% for 12 seconds, can only occur once every 30 seconds. First and foremost, that 40% is extremely significant. I've noticed it for myself. I only have it at Refinement Rank 1. Once you get it to Refinement Rank 5, which I know some people have on their account, it's at 80%. That's ludicrous, and that's for all party members, which is ludicrous. So it has that supporting capability. You're giving your base attack an increase of 20% just on hit alone. It's extremely useful. This weapon is so versatile. It is so good. And that's why everybody was going, you know, bananas when it first dropped, and they were going, you know, nutty just trying to get it, and then going to Refinement Rank 5. It was just crazy. I got lucky and just pulled it just randomly. It wasn't even on the up drop rate banner. It was before the up drop rate banner. So yeah, it's a really good weapon. This Claymore is just recommended for any Claymore user, to be quite honest with you. So It's great. If I ever got a second one, because right now I have it on my Razor, and I think I'm just going to keep it there. I might put it on my Xinyan just to see how she performs with it. But if I ever pull a second one, yeah, it's definitely going on Xinyan. It's just great. All around great. So, yeah, no, that is what it is. I'm sure you guys know about the Wolf's Gravestone. Moving on to the Sacrificial Greatsword, now we're getting into the 4 stars. This is, I believe, a Gacha only weapon as well. 44 attack, energy recharge, 6.7% on that substat. After damaging an opponent with an elemental skill, the skill has a 40% chance to end its own cooldown. So this is a very interesting weapon. I think it might be actually a sneaky good option for Xinyan, because with their elemental skill, it deals damage to all nearby fans, and that's in quotation, means enemies, and converts their passion into a shield that absorbs pyro damage. Damage absorbed will be based on the amount of fans affected. So it provides you a shield, and when the shield is active, Xinyan will be imbued with the pyro energy. So I assume that means that you'll be able to do pyro damage, and that's going to be really interesting to see, you know, how effective that actually is. So being able to, you know, end your cooldown and be able to proc the shield again if you need to, if it goes away or something of that nature, is probably going to be a sneaky good option. I'll have to play around with this one and see as well, but this might be a good option, maybe one to just keep your eye on, or just try on your Xinyan and see. I'll definitely try it out and see how it works. So Sacrificial Greatsword, interesting. And then it has that energy recharge once again for the substat, so that's interesting as well. Now moving over to the Bell, another 4-star. The Bell, I believe, is Gacha only as well. Let me just double check here. Yeah, how to obtain is Gacha. Okay, so that's Gacha only. Now with the Bell, let me go back up here. Where was I at? Okay, here we go. With the Bell, it's a 42 for the base attack, and then HP, not a fan. I don't know, not a fan of that at 9%. Not even a high percentage. Well, it's decent. Okay, taking damage generates a shield which absorbs damage up to 20% of max HP. You possibly get a double shield. Interesting. The shield lasts for 10 seconds or until broken, and can only be triggered once every 45 seconds. While protected by the shield, the character gains a 12% increased damage. Interesting. I don't know if you're able to then get a double shield, because just going off of the rough translations for the skills for Xinyan, it says a shield that absorbs pyro damage, so this one may be able to absorb all damage, and so maybe you can have a double shield. I'm not entirely too sure on this one, guys, so let me know in the comments down below. I could probably use some help. But you also get an increase in your damage just overall at 12%. Not bad at all. I'm not a fan of that substat, and the base attack is, you know, a little bit on the lower side, so the Bell would be an interesting one to maybe take a look at if you have it on your account. I'm not too sure about that one, though. And then the Lithic Blade. So the Lithic Blade, and once again, this was like for the polearm with Zhongli, with the Lithic part of it. I'm not sure if this is one that's actually in the game right now, to be quite honest. Let me just double check really quickly. On this one, it is Gacha only, so I haven't seen it like the other Lithic polearm, but yeah, once again, in the comments down below, let me know if you guys have this weapon or pulled this weapon, or if this weapon's even in the game. But it has a base attack of 41, crit damage as a substat at 16%. That's pretty significant. For every character in the party who hails from Liyue, the character who equips this weapon gains 6% attack increase and 2% crit rate increase. That's interesting. Now, the reason why I was a little confused is the first time I've seen a weapon that specifies a character from a region like Liyue. So, that's interesting. Now, I don't know if Xinyan is going to be from Liyue, so I don't know about that one. I don't know enough about the weapon. So, I mean, the attack increase is pretty good, decent. The crit rate is I'm not too sure about this weapon. Not a huge fan. Okay, we're just gonna keep on moving on. So the Black Cliff Slasher. So I believe this is the one from the shop that you can obtain in the shop. Let me see if there's another way that you can obtain this one as well, really quickly. So yeah, the Paimon's Bargain Shop that you can get right now. Actually, it's there currently. I believe it's for 34, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that, but I believe it's 34 Masterless Star Glitter. So the sub base, or the attack, excuse me, base is 42, crit damage as a substat at 12%. That's pretty good. After defeating an enemy, attack is increased by 12% for 30 seconds. This effect has a maximum of 3 stacks, and the duration of each stack is independent of the other. So I always liked the Black Cliff weapons. I always thought that they looked pretty good just based off of, you know, what's on paper here. Because the 30 seconds, I always thought that that was a good amount of time for a weapon type of boost or increase, in this case attack for example, to last, and that's at 12%. So, and it can stack a maximum of 3 times, so it's very interesting. And I think this could be a sneaky good option for Xinyan as well if you're trying to, you know, just simply boost her attack. This is an attack oriented weapon alone, nothing really else associated with it. So interesting. That's something that you can maybe look at if you have the Master of Star Glitter to go for that one. And then we have the Serpent Spine. This one is in the Battle Pass. It's the 4-star, base attack 42, crit rate at 6%. Every 4 seconds a character is on the field, they will deal 6% more damage and take 3% more damage. Not that great. I don't really like the trade-off, albeit it's not that significant. I'm still not a fan of that like niche thing that's going on there. Now this effect has a maximum of 5 stacks and will not be reset if the character leaves the field, but will be reduced by 1 stack when the character takes damage. I mean, outside of it looking really cool and probably having a good aesthetic property with Xinyan, you know, going well with how she looks as also, I don't know, I never found this weapon to be too interesting, because I think in the Battle Pass there are far better weapons to go for, like the Catalyst I think is absolutely amazing. The one-handed sword I think is really good as well, and even the bow. So I just think there's better weapons to go for in the Battle Pass. So, you know, this is just if you don't really have any other great swords or claymores to go with. So I'm just not a huge fan. Let me know what you guys think. Now moving over to the White Blind, this is one that I believe is, gosh, no, this one you can craft. Excuse me, you can craft this one. Yeah, this is one that you can forge. Okay, so let's take a look at what it's bringing to the table. So it has a base attack of 42 with a defensive substat at 11.3% on hit. Normal to charge attacks increase attack and defense by 6% for 6 seconds. Max 4 stacks, 24% total. Not bad. I mean, if you look at it, Xinyan is, you know, shaping up to be a tank of a character or hero. So this may not be a bad option. It depends on what type of build you want to go for your Xinyan. You know, if you want her to be the tank on your team, then yeah, this might actually be really good, because not only is the substat defense, but the actual skill is attack and defense increasing. So this could be a good option. It just really depends. I might try this one out as well and see how it works. But yeah, if this, I think, is more for a tank build, if you're going with that, you know, for that with your Xinyan, excuse me, just based off of, you know, what type of character she's looking to be. And then if we move over to the Royal Greatsword, let me take a look here. I'm not exactly sure how you obtain this one. Oh, this one was in the Paimon's Bargain. I don't believe it's there right now in the shop. This might be one that comes back around at some point. Let me take a look here. So the Royal Greatsword, base attack 44, attack at 6%. Upon damaging an enemy, increases crit rate by 8%, max 5 stacks. A crit hit removes all stacks. Oh, okay. This could probably allow Xinyan to hit pretty hard, but yeah, it's interesting. It would be one to try. I don't think this would be the most applicable one for her, though, to be quite honest. So it's interesting. And then we move over to the Rain Slasher. This is, I believe, Gacha only as well. Base attack 42, elemental mash rate at 36, increases damage against enemies affected by Hydro or Electro by 20%. I think that's decent. That is something that you can try out. I don't think it's going to be really all that great for Xinyan. And then we have the Prototype Ambinus, excuse me, with the base attack of 44. You can forge this one, which is fantastic. Attack at 6%. On hit, normal to charge attacks have a 50% chance to deal an additional 240% attack damage to enemies within a small AoE. Can only occur once every 15 seconds. I think this is going to be a really good option for her, just because that additional attack is just so significant. I think you can apply that on any Claymore user. I think this weapon is, you know, applicable to all of them, and I think the same will be for Xinyan. So this is a really good one. And then you can see at Refinement rank 5, 480% attack damage is just, that's dumb. It's actually dumb. Yeah, so I think that's a good one. I think you should forge it if you haven't already. I think everybody should. and then try it with your Xinyan if you don't have any other options. So I think it's going to be a good one though. And then the Favonius Greatsword, I believe this one is Gacha only as well. Let me just double check here. Yeah, Gacha only with the Favonius Greatsword. And then let's just take a look at what it's doing also. So where are we at here? Okay, so the Favonius Greatsword, base attack 41, energy recharge at 13.3%. Crit hits have a 60% chance to generate a small amount of elemental particles, which will regenerate 6 energy for the character. Can only occur once every 12 seconds. Once again, playing into that spam ult, which I don't think is going to be too beneficial for Xinyan. It depends on how good her elemental burst is. Once again, I don't see it having any unique properties like Zhongli to where you would want to do that, or like Venti, for example, where that spam ult is really, really good and useful. We'll have to see. You know, it really depends. So that was the last 4-star. So those are all the Claymores. So out of the 4-star ones, I would say the Prototype Amethyst and the White Blind are interesting options that you should take a look at, just depending on what type of build you're going for. And then the Black Cliff Slasher is very interesting as well if you have the Masterless Star Glitter. So those are the ones that I would take a look at. Also, the Sacrificial Greatsword is maybe a sneaky good option as well. We would have to see. And then the bell, I would have to test out the bell. So out of the 4 stars, the Prototype Amethyst, the Sacrificial Greatsword, and then I would have to go after that probably the White Blind, and then the Black Cliff Slasher. Those are all very, very interesting options that I would take a look at and see if they would really be beneficial. But those are the ones out of the 4 stars I think that are really good. And then the 5 stars, we only have 2, and I think they're both fantastic. Out of the 2, I think the Wolf Gravestone obviously would be the better option just because of its versatility, its supporting capability, and how it'll allow you to hit harder. But the Skyward Pride, if you have it, is not a bad option as well. Of course, throw that on and see how it works out. So out of the 5 stars, Wolf Gravestone first, and then Skyward Pride. And then moving on to the artifacts, I'm not going to spend too much time here because I know this video has been a little bit lengthy already. We're just going to talk about the 5 stars because, you know, the 4, you should be trying to grind for the 5 stars. But as far as the 4 stars, I mean, the Berserker obviously is going to be a good option to go for. And then, you know, the other ones are pretty much, you know, very, I think in my opinion, obvious. But when it comes to the 5 stars, I think the Gladiator, obviously, going for the 4 set might be really good because of that Claymore attack damage bonus is going to be a pretty good option right there. Also, the Lava Walker and the Crimson Witch of Flames, the 4 set might be very interesting for both of those, so that might be something that you want to try. And then one that I did want to mention as well is the Retracing Bolide. I think this one could be a very interesting option as you gain an additional 40% normal and charge attack damage while under the protection of a shield. You're going to have that shield procced as an elemental skill. So this could be a very, very interesting option right there for your Xinyan going with that type of build. So those are the ones that I would be looking for. Those would be the ones that I would, you know, try out. So, you know, if you wanted to go like a, I don't know, 2-piece Noblesse and then like a 4-set Gladiator, that could be an interesting option. Or like a I believe the Bolide, let me see here. So increases the effectiveness of shield by 35%. Or you can go with like a 4-set Bolide and then like a 2-set Gladiator. That might be an interesting option. It really depends. Or like a 2-set Crimson Witch. You might want to go 4-set. It depends on how you would want to build out your Xinyan at the end of the day. But there's a lot of good options because with her with the shield and her being pyro, there's a lot of good options that you can maybe go for and try. So yeah, I would definitely look into it. If you want to make her more of a supporting type of character, you can go with a 4-piece Noblesse and then 2-piece Gladiator or 2-piece Crimson Witch. Those could all be interesting options as well. You just have to kind of play around with it and see what the best build for you would be. But anyways, guys, that is the video. I hope it was informative. I hope it helped out. I know it was a little bit longer, so I do truly apologize. But I did want to do this for my girl Xinyan because I'm excited for her. And I just don't see too many people talking about her right now. So anyways, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Remember to stand out, be different, have fun, go further beyond in everything that you do. And until next time, my boys, until next time, it's your homie Cody GT, and I'm out. Bye, guys.